Let me give you a guided tour. Let us learn some more.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm the Amastorian, and this episode is gonna be on Fredriksborg's fortress at Oxdjupet in Stockholm Archipelago. So let's get to it. After the Great Nordic War and the Russian ravages and that quite significant defeat, 1721, it was decided to make a review of the defenses of the country, including the defenses of Stockholm, and of course the three straits that leads into Stockholm from the Baltic Sea. That meant that Fredriksborg fortress was built. It was constructed by the man in charge was fortifications major Gabriel Kronstedt, and the architect was General Quartermaster Axel Löfven, which actually shares his surname with our former Prime Minister. 1735, Fredriksborg fortress was finished and was named after King Fredrik I. 40 meters above the waterline, the tower was placed, accessed only by one drawbridge, of which the mechanism is still intact, but not in use since the drawbridge has been replaced by a regular bridge. But the mechanism is still there and can be seen. It had 40 cannons and it could house 2,000 men. That must have been quite crowded in there. Wow, that must have been very crowded. It's not that big, so damn, 2,000 men in there. Man, that you gotta step on some toes then. The purpose of the tower was to protect the capinaries and the corps de garde from a land-based attack. Now the capinaries is there to actually mean to protect the strait. That is the main defense of Stockholm, the capinaries and the corps de garde, which is where even more cannons was based in these houses or fortress houses that overlook the actual strait. So those are the actual cannon sites to actually protect the strait, while the smörasken, the butter box, as the fortress, the tower is called, was actually meant to protect the capinaries and the corpus the guard from an attack from the other side. And for that they had 40 cannons and 2,000 men in wartime. In peacetime there was only 150 men. But 1750 there was a permanent stone barrack built, which also stands still today. But in the early 19th century this fortress lost its military importance, largely because Oxdjupet and the strait that Fredriksborg fortress was supposed to protect was blocked off, and the fortress fell into disrepair. One of the capinaries was torn down, and the copper roof and a full floor of the tower was taken down to get the building materials to the new Vaxholm Castell or citadel. Pieces of it has been remade. It has a new roof. It has been made some of the stoneworks that have been torn down has been replaced. The drawbridge is not well, there's a new bridge. There's not a drawbridge anymore, and the floor inside is also new. But when they made it, they chose not to make it the whole way around this round fortress. It is made halfway. That's a bit odd now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But they made it so we today can go and see how they made this amazing structure. I mean, this donut-shaped internal vault ceiling is just amazing. Wow, it's so high and so... Wow, it's such a amazing thing to see. And the vaults probably was made by making a wooden frame, and then they put bricks, they maced the bricks in around the wooden mold, and when that arch was done they made another one through around the same mold. And these arches are so well made that when they made one bench in modern time for one of these archways, they made it for one archway, then thought, we can't have this bench here, we gotta move it. Okay, they moved the bench. They didn't have to change it in any way. They just moved it and it fit into the next archway. They didn't make it for that archway, they made it for another one. And that's quite exceptional, you know. It fit another archway. So that tells me they had one specific mold for all of these. The main archway of the roof was probably made in the same way with one mold that they simply shifted forward throughout the entire circle of the room. Inside the main column, inside the donut, obviously, the circle inside the donut, there is a spiral, shall we say, ramp going up. That is to make sure that they can shift cannon placements inside this fortress from one level to another. And this was quite a genius way to do it. And also the inside the moat there is some firing slots. These are quite extraordinary also, because they are very, very strangely made with some sort of shall we say masonry work that is supposed to give you a better field of fire inside there. I've not been able to get inside and see from the inside, only to take pictures from the outside here, so I can't really say much of how it looks from the inside, but it's supposed to give you a better field of fire. Yeah, well, why not? I don't know how it looks from the other side, but it's a very interesting design. And this place is nowadays a restaurant, and it's also the fortress itself. It's available in the summertime for renting for parties and receptions and so on. So if you want to, you can actually rent this place for a wedding dinner or something like that, or wedding party or whatever. And that's what would be it for this fortress now. Give me your thoughts on this in your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe.